Good morning. I know I am an early riser, and so I tend to do things quite early. But you can listen to this later, you can circulate it, whatever you choose. But I just felt the need, I was inspired to come this morning just to talk about why mothers are on the forefront and why I focus on women in particular, because you do not have to have children to be a mother. But I do feel, see, know, and understand that because of our influence and the way that society looks to women as nurturers and influencers of future generations, that we have to be clear, empowered about what nurturing we are giving our children, what information we are giving them. And in order to do that, there's a lot of undoing of knowledge, information that we have to do within ourselves. Because the truth of the matter is the history of raising children came to be that we started to raise our children the way that patriarchal society dictated. Not the way that a society that was about the sustenance and the recreation of itself through the principles of womanhood has been. And so this is why I talk about, really getting to the heart of understanding your relationship with your mother, really getting to the heart of understanding who you are and what it is that you truly, truly, truly deep down would like and desire, what I call your magic. Truly looking at the relationship that you have to children, how you interpret children, how you talk to and about children. That is a very telling thing, because we always hear all of these negative connotations about children, right? Oh, they're so bad, they're this, they're that. Well, children are a product of the society before them. They ain't fall out the sky, y'all. You want me to tell you how children come to be? Like, do we need to have that conversation? But seriously, that they are a product of what it is that we put into them. And because of, again, our society, the way that our society is fashioned, many of us as women don't even have the ability to spend time with our own children to be able to teach them the lessons, give them the structure, etc. This latchkey kid thing, or also shoving technology in their face so that they can go away. All of those things. That is not the way of our foremothers and the way that children learned. That is not the way that it has been. This is a common occurrence, an all too common occurrence that we need to look at how we have come to this and really shifting it. And I am a strong advocate of women finding the type of... Okay, I went out for a second and now I'm back. I used to take my child with me, and I worked to get to the point where I could stay home and be able to do what I could do to stay home with my child, to homeschool her. Even if you cannot homeschool, how present are you with the school system that your child is in? Do they know that you are present? Because trust and believe, a lot of the things that are happening that these school systems are getting away with in terms of our children is because the parents are not present. And it has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. That's a misconception. Let me just be real clear with you. A lot of people think that, things are in certain areas are better in schools because the parents have money. No, those kids, their parents are just as absent. And I know for many reasons, because I've worked with those kinds of families as well. And those children are still missing that mothering energy that they need to really grow, thrive, and survive. Sabria says, and the mapping of our DNA. I'm not sure what brought that particular comment, but you can, elaborate below as well. But yes, what we do changes our DNA. It changes the functioning, the way that we function, and therefore the way that our children function. We have literally a connection through when a baby is born, the umbilical cord, the physical cord is cut, but the spiritual cord is still there, right? The DNA, your DNA is inside that child. So whatever it is that you do to shift your DNA is certainly going to shift and affect your child and all of the children around you, because it's going to affect the way that you function in the midst of children. The child's environment that you were speaking of before. Okay, so your environment, yes, the physical environment where they are, right? We see these studies about epigenetics, how how your environment can change the way that your certain genes in your body express themselves, right? Because we have a ton of genes, many of which science doesn't know. Our ancestors did know that any of our genes can be expressed and utilized and called upon when needed, right? We can definitely unlock our genetic code and utilize them for what they are needed for. We just need to be aware that is something that we can do. So you're not stuck in any situation. It doesn't matter what your past was, what happened to you. You can choose to change at any moment. And honestly, oftentimes our stress or our any kind of issues that we're having, troubles that we're having, is the clear indication that something ain't working. I hear from a lot of mothers say, oh, we can't, I feel like I can't do X, Y, and Z. Well, your what is going on around you is the clear indication that something needs to change. That is your cue. That is your cue to make that shift, whatever that shift may be. A lot of times it's just a shift in thought, right? And with the shifts in thoughts, the actions will follow. Wow. Did my phone just really die? Wow.